am seriously tired of talking about Ethereum. I really am. Guys, I've been asked these questions now for 10 years. It comes up in every interview, and there's nothing more disappointing and dismaying than going on the media, spending an hour talking to a journalist, and seeing the headline, Ethereum co-founder says. I spent 6 months there. Obviously, the people I work with, some of them didn't get along with me. 25-year-old Charles Hoskinson. Okay. And I guess this is the most significant and relevant thing for 33-year-old Charles Hoskinson, who's spent countless thousands of hours with you, my community, and others in the space, and led a company that's done all the things that we've done in a steady hand for over 6.5 years. It's extraordinary to me that that seems to be the way it is, but it is what it is. And that's, I guess, the world that those people live in. The reason why I love these long forward podcasts is they are different. They do think different. The Joe Rogans and Lex Friedmans and others of the world, they're not interested in headlines and sensation. They're interested in conversation. And they're interested in learning and listening and growing. That's where we're at. And that's why those are the forms that I think are going to win in the long term and ultimately help all of us become a little bit better. We all have our flaws. We all have our sins, our victories and our losses. And we're all defined in some way as a combination of these things. And we as a society must learn to accept each other as we are, not as we aspire to be or not as we destined to be, but just as we are. And learn a little bit of empathy and love, and realize that if we listen to each other and we follow each other, work with each other, we can accomplish an enormous amount. That's why our industry exists. It was built upon the shoulders of selfless giants who wrote for decades open source software and created amazing protocols and committed themselves to inculcating the techniques and knowledge to the next generation so that a privileged few could work together to actually deploy and build these types of systems. And because those few did, they opened up these amazing things to the rest of the world and inspired literally an entire generation to do things differently and think differently. Tomorrow, I'm going to the largest cryptocurrency conference in human history. I believe over 50,000 people are going to be there. I am interacting with politicians, heads of state, senators, mayors, and massive investors who work for SoftBank. Jack Dorsey's here. Ron Paul is delivering a speech at 9 a.m. Crazy crypto anarchists who are OGs from the space, the young and the old alike. This is, without a doubt, the most diverse conference in the history of technology. There are so many colors, languages, genders, and other things represented. You wouldn't see this at a telecommunications conference. You wouldn't see this at a banking conference, yet you see this here. And because this movement is about everybody, ultimately, and inspires so many people to think a little differently and do things differently. That's who we are. That's where we came from.